Hey, what's up guys? It's your boy Messy Hair, and today I am going to be answering the age-old question of should you start a general Shopify store or a niche Shopify store? And right away, I'm going to give you a very succinct answer, and I'm going to go into a lot of detail about why this is in the upcoming minutes. But very succinct answer, if you have no idea what you're doing, it's going to be a bit easier to run a general store over a niche store. However, don't stop the video here because I have a lot of information that could persuade you to go into a niche store even right from the start. So I personally started a pretty general store. There was a theme behind it, but it was still pretty general within that theme, and I eventually found a product that really sold well, and I niched down from there. So that's the strategy I used, but let's go ahead and get into niche in general and the pros and cons behind both of them so you can draw your own conclusion about what you want to do. So we're going to go ahead and start with a general store because I see a lot of these on people starting out, and you should know the pros and cons before getting into it. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start with the pros of the general store. So something fantastic, and probably the big reason why this is, everyone wondering. I forgot to point that out. That's usually a thing I do. The good thing for general stores that a lot of people start them for this thing is that you can test a bunch of different products. You're not limited to just one type of product or a certain theme behind your products. You can test whatever the hell you like. You can go through AliExpress and be like, I think this might sell well, I think this might sell well, ooh, up there, that might sell well. You combine all of those into a store. Obviously you have to make it look coherent, but you can sell them on there and it's not gonna look weird. Like if you have a jewelry store and you're selling fishing lures, that would look friggin' weird. But on this, if you have like coolgear.com, you can put whatever the hell you want on there because there's not a theme behind it. And this is great if you're just starting out, you don't really know what you personally can sell and what other people are buying. You can find this out through a bit of research beforehand, but if you can't find this out, then general stores are fantastic for you. Additionally, with these items, you can do different marketing strategies. Now, when you have a niche store, you do have to kind of stick to a marketing strategy to see what works for your items. If you look at like big brands, I'm going to go back to jewelry again, like Tiffany's, they have a certain marketing strategy that they use and they stick to it. That's generally what you're going to find you're doing. Of course, you're going to switch things up as trends change, but you're going to have a general theme. Now with a general store, you can try a bunch of different marketing strategies because every item is going to be so different. They all need to be marketed differently. And this is fantastic for beginners because you get to see what works and what doesn't, try a bunch of different things and learn from there, and eventually probably get down into a niche store with that knowledge that you now have about advertising. So that's fantastic. And third, and this goes hand in hand with marketing, you can market these items on these viral pages, or you can do like viral video ads. What I mean by this is you can hop on trends. Like if there's a waterproof camera that's really popular from AliExpress, you can jump on that as soon as it happens, throw it up on your website, and then make like this viral video type ad and push it out. And then you can put it on like cool video Instagram page for influencers, put a really catchy, interesting, eye-popping video, and boom, put it on that page, spend a couple $100s, but it fits the content of a bunch of those pages where it's just a bunch of different interesting videos here and there and there and there, and you'll fit right in. And from what I've seen, it works fantastic marketing wise. So some cons behind a general store is there is a lot of variety in the store, which can kind of reduce the cohesiveness of the store in general. And what this can also do is it can make it very hard to target an audience for the store. If you are selling general, I have my list right here. If you are selling general items, like if you're selling a camera and you're also selling a pair of shoes, it can be a little bit hard to target them, because you're like, oh, shoes, how do you target this? Of course you can, and once you start really getting the hang of it, it gets pretty easy to target just single items, but it can be very difficult if you're just starting out to constantly be seeing what works for what doesn't in each product, because each one's kind of going to be its own challenge. Additionally, and something that kind of sucks is that there's not going to be a lot of upselling between products. So a very awesome thing with niche stores, I'm going to touch on this in the niche store section, is that people will go to the store for the item you're advertising and then possibly look around if everything is cohesive and be like, oh, I also like this thing, and oh, that thing over there is great too. I'm going to put that all together. With a general store, you don't really have that. People are going to go to your store for this camera. They're like, oh, great, a camera. Then they're going to be like, oh, a cat toy? No thanks, I just came for this. You know what I mean? So that's a big problem, in that your average order value might be a little bit smaller. You might be selling less items per person, so you'll be spending more money to acquire customers. Of course, this can vary greatly. This is just the general idea of things, but that's something that you definitely will run into, and that upselling is very hard on stores like this. Now, we're going to get into niche stores, and these are the stores that I run right now. I find they work better for me. I am working on opening up a general store to get kind of that viral content that I was just talking about. But with niche stores, there are a lot of pros. So first of all, it's a lot easier to target specific people. Say you're selling, don't do this because every influencer talks about this. This is just as an example. Say you're selling dog jewelry, and on that dog jewelry website you have a golden retriever necklace. Fantastic. You can go into Facebook ad targeting. You can target people who love dogs and additionally have a golden retriever or something, or they're part of a golden retriever fan page, something like that. It's a lot easier to target down instead of targeting like the general area. You can get a lot more specific, which in turn can result in a lot higher converting ads. So that's fantastic. Additionally, back-end marketing is a lot easier, because with these emails that you're going to collect in your general store, they all came to the store for this general idea, like dog jewelry. They come onto the store, if they subscribe to your email list, very, very high chance they're interested in dog jewelry. So once you have these emails, send them emails with promotional stuff about dog jewelry. That's going to be fantastic. You don't really get that with general stores. Yeah, you can send them out the next viral product, but they're not going to be as interested, or even close to as interested, as someone that's into dog jewelry and you send them more dog jewelry. So, and back-end advertising is very, very valuable. A lot of people don't do it, but if you do it right, you're going to increase your revenue a crap ton, and it's mostly free. So you want to make sure that you can do that just a little bit. Additionally, cross and upselling between products, as I stated previously, people are going to be a lot more willing to go through your store and pick things out and be like, okay, I also like that, I also like that, ooh, that fits my interests. Get all those together, and you're going to find a lot of people just like to wander through your store and add stuff to your cart when they all are cohesive together. You're not really going to get that with a general store. Additionally, you can make a brand out of a general store, but it's a lot easier to make a brand out of a niche store, because if there is I'm going to go back to dog jewelry, you can make a dog jewelry brand like Paw Print Company, whatever. I don't know, I'm just throwing out ideas. But it's when everything is cohesive and together and all the items kind of mesh together, it's very easy to make a general brand underneath everything, and this creates a lot of trust for people, because when they see a brand instead of just a website throwing out products, they're like, okay, this is very well established, they've been around for a while, I'm going to trust them a lot more. So that's definitely something to think about too. And then we're just going to get into the cons of niche stores real quick. So it really depends on the niche succeeding, and you can lower the risk of the niche failing on you by doing a lot of testing in a general store first of all, and then transitioning down into a niche store like I did. But if you have a niche store and the niche is really sucking on you, you're kind of out of luck. because you can't just throw other items on the niche store. It's going to look weird. You'll have to start a new store. So that's something to think about. Definitely make sure that you're getting into a niche that you know isn't going to fail on you immediately. Also, it's slightly limited. You can only sell a certain amount of things in this niche, and this goes with the previous point. Just make sure that the niche does sell pretty well, that there's going to be a steady stream of people interested in it, and it isn't just a fad or you're just taking a shot in the dark. You want to make sure it works before you jump into it. And finally, you have to know how to market one thing. So once again, dog jewelry, you have to know how to market dog jewelry. If you don't know how to market dog jewelry, your marketing is going to be down the crap hole, and you're really not going to be able to make any sales because, well, your marketing sucks, and that's a huge portion of e-commerce, Shopify dropshipping. So really make sure when you're getting into a niche, you know, it helps if you're pretty knowledgeable about the topic and the theme already before getting into it. So guys, that's it. Once again, just to recap, if you are starting out, I've found it is easier to start a general store and then possibly niche down from there. But also it is a lot easier just in general to run a niche store, and I found higher converting and just more rewarding in general. But it really depends on what you want to do. So take into account everything I just talked about and decide for yourself. Let me know down in the comments if you have any questions about this. I'd love to help you out. Also, check out my blog, 101ecom.com. Got blog posts, helpful links, contact page for me. Very simple website, check that out. Also, for a free 14-day Shopify trial, if you want to get this started, if I've helped you decide what kind of store you want to make, check down in the description down below. I have a link for that. And that's it, guys. So good luck making your store, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.